Hello, 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 hello. UKSG. How are you all doing today? Has it been a good That's great. Has it been a good event for everyone so far? Awesome, love it. Right, well, welcome everybody. I'm LumiLaura, and today I'm going to be doing a Spyro the Dragon any % quadfecta for you today, as it says. You thought it was a trifecta, you thought wrong. We've hit a donation goal of 1,000 and 4,875 in total. Can we get to 5,000? That would be great. Meaning that this trifecta is now a quadfecta. So we're going to be playing Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, Spyro Year of the Dragon, and capping it off with some garbage. Let's begin. All right. One moment. Ah, no dice. Okay. So, I just attempted a little trick called Nesta Skip. That dragon directly in front of us. If you've watched a Spyro on any % run before, you may wonder why nobody ever gets that. It's because that dragon's cutscene is entirely unskippable. But, using a little technique, which I failed, gracefully, you can skip that cutscene, which leads to about 10 seconds of time save, but no dice, unfortunately. It is, I kid you not, quintuple frame perfect, so I'm not surprised. Anywho. Here we are with Spyro 1 any %. I'm pretty rusty with this, not gonna lie. It's been a minute since I've played this in any serious capacity, and I guess it's about as serious as it gets, you know? But this any % out of the 4 that we're gonna be doing is by far the most intended. It is definitely by the books. There are no major sequence breaks. There is nothing we can do to get through this game any faster than it wants us to get through it. So, the name of the game is there are 6 hub worlds, and to navigate through the first 5, we have to meet certain collection requirements. So, for example, the first homeworld, we're going to need to be freeing 10 dragons. The second homeworld, we need 1,200 total gems and the 10 dragons. The third homeworld, we need 5 dragon eggs and everything else. Then, for the fourth homeworld, we need 50 dragons. And for the fifth homeworld, we need 6,000 total gems. So it is a rush to get 6,000 gems, 50 dragons, and 5 eggs. And in the time it took for me to explain that, I am about 10% of the way there. Love it. So, like I mentioned, this run is very much by the books, but there is a ton of awesome movement mechanics that we're going to be using throughout the run. Such as, you know, you got Spyro's basic moves. He can charge, he can jump, he can glide, he can spit fire. But when you combine those things together, this is the beautiful thing about Spyro 1. When you combine those moves together, you get pretty much entirely brand new movement tech, such as charge gliding, where if you press square to charge just a couple of frames before your glide, you drastically extend the length and the height that you get from it, or the distance, sorry. And a flame charge, well, I will show that up in just a moment. Got a little tricky jump here, bear with me. Wow. We're good. It's okay. We go next. So, yeah, a flame charge is... Wow. Bear with me. So, a flame charge is pretty much... Spyro cannot have anything home into him, gems, home into him, when he is not charging through them. So, if we flame an enemy and then very quickly switch back to charging in very rapid succession, we can effectively trick the game into thinking that we charge through it. So we can get gems to home in places that otherwise we wouldn't be able to very, very quickly and unintended, which definitely drastically speeds up the flow of the game. You don't see it much in this first homeworld, but we will be seeing that a lot later on. And then there is just one more little bit of major movement tech that I'm going to have to be quiet for here because I'm very rusty, as you just saw. And I would like to get this right. Bear with me. Beautiful. There we go. That was a wall glide. So the comparison I always go to, if you've ever played Counter-Strike Source or even CSGO for that matter, or TF2 or anything, it's like surfing. You're up against a slanted wall, you glide against it, and as long as you stay kind of parallel, you stay, you know, kind of even in height, and we can use that to sequence break all over the place. And in all the time I've taken to explain that, we are out of the first hub world. Beautiful. On to Peacekeep as we go. And breathe. Oh, goodness me.
Can I chime in with a couple of donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Brilliant. We've got $25 from the Woofs with no comment, but thank you for the donation, and $20 from TBA with no comment. Thanks for the donations, guys. We are $125 away from hitting the 5K. And we're in the last run of the marathon, guys, so get your donations in. Let's hit that 5K very, very, very soon.
Don't let that pressure you too much. Last run of the marathon, but plenty of time. We got lots of game left to play, and 3 other games on top of that. So, looking forward to it. All right, so we are now in the second hub world, Peacekeepers, and this is where the amount of gems that we start to pick up it spikes a lot, actually. It's a lot of gems that would otherwise be like greens that are worth 2 are now worth 10. You know, so this one, that's a green, that's a blue, that's worth 5. You know, there's a bunch more gems to get here. This level has 400 total. Most of the levels just have way more. So we are going to be spending more time going out of our way for gems here whilst we collect all the dragons. That's not cool. You're supposed to follow me. Thank you, bud. Hello? Hi, UKSG. Alright, not instilling much confidence in myself here as I'm coming up to a very difficult glide that kills a lot of runs. Honestly, just pray for me here. If I hit this, I'll be pretty happy. I'm very rusty. Woo! Barely. Just barely eked that out. It looked pretty simple, but do not let how visually simple it is deceive you. Just like me, I'm pretty visually simple. You know, you come across me, you think, she doesn't know her left from right, and you'd be right. That would have been the perfect opportunity to say you'd be left. I'm not that funny. All right, so I need to make it a point here that I'm going to be doing a route that is pretty drastically different from what I've ever done in my own runs and what is currently done in the world records. I'm going to be skipping a lot of gems in the early game and making them back up with a massive supercharge in the middle of the third homeworld. I just missed a trick there. I'm going to go for it again. It's called Mama Proxy, and it's a little bit quicker to retry it as opposed to go without it, so bear with me. There we go, and not done yet. Beautiful, there we go. There we go. That skips a super long glide at the end of the level and gets us a few extra gems to boot. And then the rest of the level, not really much to it. There's nothing super flashy, but we do a fair few unintended jumps to spots that we're not quite supposed to get to. For example, we're not supposed to get up here early. And this firework, not supposed to get that early. And then the rest of it is pretty much as intended. So if there's any time for any extra donations, now's a good time.
Absolutely. So we've got 3 more donations that have come in. We've got $25 from Tombo D99 saying, good luck, Laura.
Thanks, Tombo.
We have $69 from Puppeter with the word nice.
Nice.
And we have $10 from Sly Sonic saying, Laura balling? More likely than you think.
Highly likely. You know, you wouldn't have thought it, but highly likely.
Also, $21, people. $21 to the 5K. We're almost there.
It really is. Stream, chat, audience, I'm going to level with you. I had some really, really, really hot sauce today, and I am still very red in the face from it. So if you see me cooling my face down with my hand, please bear with me. Okay, so I got a little tricky power jump here. Bear with me. Nice, I'm happy I hit that in Marathon. That's fantastic. So that just skips about 2.8 seconds of extra detouring. Loses us about 7 gems, but that makes it pretty much worth it in the eyes of the grand scheme of the route. We're just going to sweep that big mama out the way for us. Thank you very much. And that's pretty much the entire level. Yeah, we do not spend much time in Dr. Shem at all. Done. That's it. We skip a large chunk of this level because everything from here on is quite a long boss fight that doesn't give us much gems. So we are going to leave here. And this is going to be the last major trick of the homeworlds. Missing this is going to cost me 15, so fingers crossed. Perfect. It's not that hard, but good to have it anyway. Right, and that is our first dragon egg of the run. If you played this game before, you probably not so fondly remember those little blue thieves that run around and hide the eggs from you. We're pretty much going to be destroying them for the process of the run. So absolutely nothing wrong with it. Wait a minute. That wasn't my first egg. I lied. I'm a liar. I forgot that the egg I got in the first hub world, that's a new part of the route. I'm glad I remembered it in the first place, but yeah, no, I lied. Anyway, we are going into our first flight level of the run, and it might seem a bit pointless. Like, the point of the run is to run around, grab gems, dragons, and eggs. Why am I all of a sudden in this weird little flying round with a timer? And the answer is that in these flight levels, there are 8 sets of objectives to either fly through or flame or stuff like that. And if we complete all of them within the allotted time, we get given a 300 gem reward. And so doing pretty much all of these with the exception of one of them is very, very viable. Yeah, there's only one flight level in the entire run that is not considered viable for the any % run, and it's the one in the first hub world, which is fantastic because it's by far the most annoying one. So, bullet dodged. We got a tight little turn coming up here. I hope I nail this. I'm incredibly rusty on this. Just barely eked it out. There we go. Good stuff. And then just to cap off the flight level, this happens in most of them, we are going to bump into this, which cancels a little flying animation that Spyro does, and in 1 minute flat, that is 300 gems. Awesome. And breathe. I promise I'm not going to be this super talkative throughout the whole, well, it's pretty much going to be an hour and 45 minutes, but you know me, I just love to talk. She's a yapper. I love yapping. Yap, 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 all day long. Keeps me sane whilst my hands are trembling from the nerves of being in front of all you beautiful people. Okay, so speaking of chilling out, this is Ice Cavern. That wasn't I swear to God, that wasn't a comment on the ice. That was a comment on how this is a very simple level. There's nothing to worry about here, just some tricky enemy interactions, kind of, but really it's just a run from one dragon to the next. This is the level that has the most dragons in the entire game. This level has 5 dragons, and we absolutely cannot pass these up, so we will be getting all 5 of them, no matter how few gems we're getting. And this is the longest split in the hub worlds, and it is also the level that we get the second least amount of gems in. No, third least. But in terms of gems per second, it is by far the worst. Absolutely the worst. You might have noticed that that flame kind of went off at a weird angle if you're astute. That's a tech that I really do not see enough people talking about. That's called a flame disjoint. And whilst it visually looks like that it's going off to the side, it actually isn't. The hitbox and the visuals of the flame, like I mentioned, they disjoint. So the flame is actually sticking directly out in front of Spyro, but the flame can go off to the side. And by doing that, you can hit some really funky looking flames in this game. But unfortunately, it doesn't actually let you hit anything off to the side whilst you're running straight in front of it. So it really is just kind of a visually cool looking thing. Speaking of, oh, womp womp. Speaking of visually cool looking, this game is beautiful. I do not get enough of an opportunity to soapbox about how fantastic these 3 games look. This game came out in 1998. That's older than me. Wow. But yeah, these games are absolutely visually stunning for the time. Insomniac always have known exactly what they've been doing. You know, from Disruptor to Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive to Spider-Man, you know, they kill it all the time. Love that studio.
Can I just quickly jump in and just highlight the fact that we've just hit $5,000? Thank you very much for your generosity, everyone. We had some few donations come in to get us over that 5K mark.
Go for it.
We had $25 by Bauglass saying, let's break the record again. We had $10 from Michael9513 saying, Laura, amazing runner and person, a treasure to the Spyro community. I can't agree more. I think everyone will agree with that. A round of applause for that, please.
Aww.
And we also had $10 from Big the Dave saying, it's good to see UKSG's timer goes above 5 minutes. Get cooking. Oh, we also had $21 from Stephen as well saying, keep the fight going to help homelessness. Yeah, that's why we're here, guys. We're going to help to support the homelessness, the crisis, that support everyone out there that need support in getting out of a homelessness situation. Let's keep that money rolling in. Where can we get the figure to? Where's it going to go from here?
If I'm not mistaken, the record for a UKSG event is somewhere within the marks of about 6.7 thousand. So if you enjoy Purple Dragons and you enjoy me for some reason, I'm not quite sure why you would, consider dropping a donation. The event is not over yet. All right. So I'm going to do... actually, no. I was about to do a thing there, but I got some pretty bad RNG on that sliding block. So I'm going to go ahead and gaslight you into thinking I was doing something cool. Sorry. So here we are in the third homeworld, and this homeworld is the only homeworld where we do not skip a single dragon. We get every single dragon in this entire hub world, and it also has the highest gems per second. So if there was ever a homeworld that you didn't want to go wrong, this is it. But thankfully, also at the same time, the movement is pretty fun and pretty consistent here. Right there, those two chests, that is a perfect example of a flame charge, a double flame charge, in fact. So we're going to start seeing those pop up a lot more. Oh my god, I should have brought some water up here. God. Especially after the hot sauce. I can still feel it. I'm suffering in silence. Another flame charge. Love it. Alright, so the rest of this level is very much as intended. You know, there's absolutely nothing special that we're going to be doing. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Definitely not flying into this wall for any nefarious reasons. Whoops. Yeah, there's just a giant hole there, and it helps us catch that thief super easily. Oh, thank you so much, Paulister, our wonderful host, has brought me some water. Oh my goodness, I needed that. Members of my stream will absolutely be stunned in silence and disbelief that I actually just consumed H2O instead of Diet Coke. So, yeah, that's your treat. Okay. We're now up to 4 eggs, meaning we only need one more, which is absolutely perfect. All right. This is the level housing the massive supercharge that I mentioned before. I'm going to be absolutely stunned if I hit this supercharge in a marathon because it is very difficult, but I will do my absolute best to lock in a whole bunch of flame charges at the start here. We're going to sneak past that tornado, make it up the spiral mountain as quick as we possibly can, right in time for this cycle just off to the left of us to be in the perfect position. So we just hop, skip, and jump across. Wow, I just missed 7 gems there. That's amazing. It's a good thing I'm about to get 100 more. Oh, okay. Right, that's enough yapping, Laura. Lock in. Time to hit the supercharge. Right after this last dragon. I'm going to have to do an extra loop here. Fine. Mr. Tem. That's it. Got it. Whew! Oh, okay. It ate it. Okay, that's fine. All right, so it didn't quite go super perfectly, but I didn't drop it halfway through, which means, you know, it absolutely could have been worse. That is called Bite Caves, and it is incredibly difficult. And I am notorious among Spyro runners for routing that supercharge out in 2022. And that route ended up becoming so much more viable that about 9 new records were set with it, if not more. So I'm doing a very dangerous thing by putting it back in, because technically it is worth it. It's just a massive choke point that back in 2022 we really did not want. We were kind of hoping to go without that. So, let me have a look at my gem count here. I'm up about 60, which is great. That's pretty much what I want, because I'm looking to route out about 40-something in the homeworld coming up after this. I'll do my absolute best not to miss any, like that 10 I just missed. Good job. You can't hear them, but they're all saying womp womp behind me. And by they all, I mean just Sly Sonic. Alright. Another flashy little supercharge here, but this one is actually nowhere near as difficult as the other one. Coming up here, this is the only instance in the entire run of grabbing gems through the wall. There we go, just grab 15 through the wall there. We're not even sure why that happens because there's no other instances in the entire game where you can even do that. It's not even a matter of, you know, there's a bunch of them that aren't viable for the runs. It's the only spot in the game where you can do that. The other island I went to has gems behind its wall, but for some reason it doesn't work there either. It's super bizarre. We really need to look into how that works. Right, something else to mention. I'm 0 lives. And the next couple of levels I'm coming up to are actually the worst spots in the entire game to game over. So I should probably be pretty careful. You know what? I'm just going to grab that blue. That blue had it out for me, honestly. You know what? I'm not going to give that blue the satisfaction of evading me. All right. So we dropped about 12 there. Yeah, we are now up 48, so I've got to be careful. I've very much got to be careful here. Otherwise, the route is not going to work out in my favor. Yeah. I'm going to grab a double here, and I hope I got it. So I'm going to explain a little trick that I just did there. It's called Boulder Skip. You might have noticed that we just went straight past a dragon that looked like it was pretty free to get. What we've done is that I've gone through the back of the portal in such a way that the camera takes a while to catch up. And because Spyro is actually flying through the other side of the portal in, you know, actual physical space, I freed that dragon for about a frame before the level load actually started, which means that the dragon is considered collected, and I have skipped its animation entirely. That is on the basis that I actually got it. So the only way to find out is by finishing this flight level and hoping that we don't slam our face directly into the rear end of a crystal dragon. If we have any donations, now's a great time.
We do indeed. We have $25 from Super Chickens just saying, let's go, UKSG.
Woo!
Yeah. And just to read out some information as well. So what your donations are going towards is little things that can help people through a very difficult time. So even little things such as like £10 could go towards someone's travel costs, making like attending a flat viewing or a job interview possible, and helping to start their journey out of homelessness. So every little counts. So if you've got any spare change and you want to put it towards a really good cause, 90% of your donations will go towards Crisis. The other 10% do go towards UKSG to help us arrange future events so we can continue supporting such great causes in the future.
All right. I've kind of not got much to say about this level. It is probably my favorite level in the whole run in terms of how mechanically just cool it is, but there's really nothing super flashy about it. It's just quick. So I'm going to do my best to get through it. Oh, we're good. We're good. I'd rather not game over here, so I am going to take this super safe. It's a marathon and all. I'm not at home. I'm not grinding for record. Why not? 40 dragons. 10 away from the required 50. Alright, I'm just gonna hop. I'm just gonna skip that blue for safety. I don't mind, man. What would you rather have? One blue or losing over a minute to a game over? I think I know what I'd rather have. And just for that, I'm gonna flame that when we'd otherwise damage abuse on it. Not the flashiest blowhard of all time, but I am rustier than a back garden gate, so it is what it is. Alright, 388, meaning we skipped about 10 gems, which puts us about, yeah, 3432. That is about 50 up from what I would usually have on a average run with the old route. So this looks great. 2331, I'm not quite sure when the time started. That's probably a low 23, according to our usual timing, which puts me about a minute ahead, yeah, a minute behind record. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Right, Beastmakers. if this is your first time playing this is probably the homeworld where you're going to see the most difficulty spikes. Because not only are the levels very tricky in some of the stuff it expects you to do, but the flight level itself is also very difficult. And is famously the thing that kills my runs the most. I hate you, Wild Flight. Please die. But it's okay. We're gonna conquer it. For UKSG, for the charity, for Crisis, we're gonna conquer Wild Flight. You and me. It hurt me. This game can smell fear, you know. I see you, Wild Flight. And you know what? I'm gonna go for a hard route. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna send it. I think I'm on cycle for this. Yep. Yes! Okay, hold. No! What did I tell you? This game smells fear. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, you can see what I was going for. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a really weird route because when you retry flight levels out of a menu, it's, the cycles are weird. So, crowd, now's your time to shine. Can I get a womp womp? Thanks. Oh my goodness.
That's the first ever live womp I've ever heard. That was brilliant.
It was beautiful.
Can I jump in with the donation
Go
quickly?
for it.
Yeah, we have $25 from Bradley_Gaming saying, big fan of Purple Dragon, Laura, and good causes. Thank you for your donation there, Bradley. Really appreciate it. And I couldn't agree more. I'm a big fan of Spyro. It's a really cool series. So it's really cool to see it here at UKSG. And so far, it has absolutely been a treat to watch.
Any more?
I have to say, that's all for donations, but we do have some little bit more information for you. So I mentioned things like $10 could go towards supporting someone's travel costs. A little bit more than that, $20 could go to £20 could go towards gas or electricity costs for someone setting up their new home and trying to make their bills. So every little does count. So if you've got a little bit of spare change, you want to put it towards a good cause, ! donate in the chat, and you can put some money towards a great cause.
Sorry, just doing some math in my head there. Okay, we're good. So I'd like to make a point that that wild flight I just had was 49 seconds. And if I completed the route that I initially tried, it would have been 47. I threw the run for 2 seconds. Don't we just love optimized speed games? All right. Misty Bog. As I mentioned before, this is where the game starts to really difficulty spike. This is where the enemy interactions really start getting tricky. These boars cannot be charged. Those shrubs will charge at you. And these guys are wearing metal. I haven't even explained the metal mechanic. If they're wearing metal, you can't flame them. So we're gonna have to charge them, meaning there are some spots in this level where the game needs you to charge and spots where you'd rather be taking it slow. Like here, with these two guys that are gonna charge you. But you know what? I'm epic. So they got him. I don't know. I had nothing to say about that. Got him. Little pre-flame there. We'll get that guy. Dodge that guy's knife swing. He's trying to cut us, by the way. No, this isn't any cartoon. He doesn't have a stick or a club. That is a knife. That is a sharp metal knife. Don't play with knives. You know what's even more messed up? In the PAL version? No. In this version, the NTSC version, some of the knives in the early game have blood on them. E for everyone. I just thought everyone has knives. I love UKSG so much.
Spyro just took a really weird turn all of a sudden.
How do we go from carefree, romping around, picking up gems to everyone has knives? Okay, So this section in here is very, very famous for being incredibly difficult. I'm going to call it the Gauntlet. If you know what the community calls it, please keep that to yourself, because it's not marathon appropriate. But there's a bunch of enemies in here. Bear with me. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. Double kill. Triple kill. Quad kill. Monster kill. Ultra kill. Kill-tacular. Monster kill. I'm really just letting it all out right now, aren't I? Alright. 4 dragons left. And we've made it through what's pretty much the hardest level in the game, according to most. Thank goodness. With way too many gems, actually. 441, that's not right. That's, yeah, 4304. That's way more than I really need coming out of this. But you know what? It's just going to make the rest of the run that little bit easier. Which does mean I can take a couple extra seconds in this level, Treetops, where we're going to be doing a bunch of unintended stuff. I'm going to try to show off something that hasn't been done in a marathon and isn't really done by anyone in runs anyway, but is a second faster than what most people usually do. So we'll see. I'll try my hardest. That green thief that was waking up those enemies, we have to beat him in the race. So we make him teleport. That saves a few seconds. And here we go. I'm just going to try the thing. Beautiful! Straight through the wall. That's tough. That's really tough, actually. I'm pretty impressed I hit that. So that wall that's not actually a gap. Visually, obviously, there's a gap between those poles, but there is solid collision between them. But what's weird about it is that for some reason, 2 poles, the wall blocking us from getting through is like bizarrely further back than the other ones. Meaning we can do like a weird squeeze physics interaction that gives us just enough speed to clip through solid geometry. It's almost as if Insomniac did this by design. We know they love speedrunning. I have a little conspiracy theory that Insomniac did a lot to encourage speedrunning this game. And I would not be surprised. Because fun little fact, Mark Cerny, who's, as far as I'm aware, president of something Universal Games, I think. When he worked on this game, and before it came out, he hosted a little tournament in office with a cash prize of who could beat this game the fastest. So the first ever any % runs of this game, we're good. I'm gonna go back and get this live. Yeah, the first ever any % runs of this game were done before the game even came out in 1998, which I think is awesome. Speedrunning has been here for such a long time, and it's come so far. Right. I am sparksless. I am missing my little dragonfly companion, which means these gems are not going to home in for me. I have to awkwardly trot around and pick them up myself. Beautiful. There was a fodder right. I could have gotten that. Everyone else who plays this game is cringing right now. I'm looking at you, yes, Wally1, directly behind me. Right. Little fodder there. Let's get our friend back. And this is probably the last major trick of the homeworld. We're going to be doing a little out of bounds here in Metalhead to get us through the wall. Hopefully it works out. I did practice this a fair bit before this run. Perfect. Through the wall. Awesome. That only loses about 6 to 10 seconds if you miss it, but obviously it's ideal. Alright, the rest of the level is pretty simple, so not really much to say. Enjoy the ride. Finally, she stopped talking. This is our 50th dragon of the run. Hello, Sadiki. Alright, and this is the 4th boss of the game. This is Metalhead. Would you even know you're fighting a boss, really? All we're doing is breaking these poles, and then he kind of does that. He runs like he has places to be. And the place he has to be is about 20 feet ahead of him. But before fighting him, we're just going to go ahead and grab these spring chests. These gems here. And then we start the second phase, in quotes. and upon destroying his power supply, he's going to get really tired and take a nap. And die. Beautiful. All right. So let's have a look at our gem count. We should be around 5125. We're good. Yep, we're up 12. Perfect. So we're just going to clean up the last of this homeworld and then move on to the penultimate homeworld of this game, Dreamweavers, where we don't really do much. We only have 2 levels that we go into in Dreamweavers. One is the flight level and one is the boss level. And then we move on to the final homeworld of the game, home to the world-famous Rat Proxy, which has, since it has last been shown at, well, last time I showed it off was at ESA. Last time I did it at a marathon, it has received some updates. Rat Proxy received some Windows updates. So hopefully it'll be a lot more consistent, but if I don't hit it quickly, I'm going to go for another trick, which I really hope to hit at a marathon, which I'll actually need a different controller for, which is actually on the other side of this desk. Could someone be a doll and slide it across for me? Thank you, Yes Wally One. In all of my yapping, I forgot to get a fodder. I'm going to have to flame this fireworks chest up here. Yep, standing and waiting. Beautiful. Alright, last flight level of the run, Icy Flight. I love this one. This flight level is actually probably my favorite. Let's have a look at our gem count here. 30, so we're going to have 51 going into Jacques, which is absolutely perfect. Meaning I can take the last collection level of the game. Pretty simple. Uh-oh. I missed that. That's no good. Whoa. We're good. Whew. My goodness, those lines are tight. Unfortunately, because we spent so much time back there, we've just missed a train. Meaning we can get delay repay. Wait, no, it's our fault. Never mind. No, we can't. No payday for us. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff. See it, say it, sort it. Or contact British Transport Police. That's what I forgot. That's the last bit. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Alright, there we go. That's Icy Flight. We are about 350 gems away, I believe, after we get all of this stuff. Cool. 349 gems away. Right, I'm going to go a little silent during this level because the platforming is pretty tricky. I hope I get this right. Damn. We've got a tough little trick coming up here called Single Cake, because these rising platforms look like a fountain cake, but we're only doing one layer of it. Nice, that's tougher than it looks. Thank you, thank you. Oops. Alright, and this is the boss of the level, Jacques. Not much of a boss. Not gonna lie. He runs. And he runs. Would you believe it? He runs. And then he dies. And then we skip under him. And we grab his gems. And we're out of there. That is 6,000 gems. We're ready to go to the final hub world. Nasty's World, where hopefully I'm gonna hit Rat Proxy. But also at the same time, I kind of hope that I don't, because I really do want to do that other trick. We'll see. There's a plethora of tricks that I could do in this homeworld. I am probably the most practiced person in this homeworld. So I've got a bunch of tricks that I could do. This is looking like Yeah, just barely according to our timing definitions. This is just barely sub 40 pace if I hit this first try. It won't be on this RTA timing, but that's a bit wide. Yep, nope. I'm going to go for a different rat prophecy over here off this chest. No dice. I'm going to go for a different trick called Boneless. If I hit this, I'll be stunned. This is insane. This is insanely difficult. Got a line Spyro's crest up with that. No dice. Next trick. Coveless. This is the one I want to hit. Frame perfect charge release here, so we get a boost upwards. Not quite. Alright, we're gonna have to take a death. No worries. We've got plenty of time. Spyro 2 takes about 15 minutes for me, and Spyro 3 will take about something. Spyro 3 will take at most like 40. So we do have a fair bit of time, especially for Enter the Dragonfly afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and give this another try. Nope, flopped on that. Gonna go back. Try these rats. You're a little bit too close. You're a little bit too far. That's awesome. We'll try you again. Hello, buddy. You want to get in a good position for me? No, that's not correct. Oh! Whoa! Okay. Sure. Wow. Did not expect that to work in any capacity. I'm sure people who know how this game works are also scratching their heads at that one. Maybe something to look into. Oh, no. I tried to go for my own special way of getting that thief for the swag points, but that's fine. All right. And that's pretty much the majority of Spyro 1. Here's our final boss, Nasty Nork. You know what he does? You guessed it! He runs! Every boss in this game just runs away from... I'm not that scary. I'm the size of a shoe. You know what's funny about it? He runs, but we're faster. We're going to get ahead of him. And we're going to let him push us. Give me a push, Nasty. Thank you very much. You're very sweet for that. We're going to hit him a little bit early here before he reaches this pedestal. Nice. He gives us a little push again. And we're coming up to time on this game. Obviously not time, but it's going to be the end of Spyro 1. Oh, would you look at that? I beat my time from ESA. GG, next game. All right. Now it's time for a lot of people's favorite, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. So, we've just witnessed a Spyro game that was very much by the books. We are going to go to the opposite side of the coin. This game is busted. The intended any percent is around, like, a high 40. Like, I think 47 minutes is the world record. The any percent run for this game, so with all the unintended stuff, is 7.5. So... we are going to break this apart. As the Rixer famously said, it is very, very, very short for a PS1 game, especially one of this quality. So let's see how I go. So the controls in the Spyro trilogy drastically changed with this game. Spyro is definitely a lot less snappy, but definitely has more moves in his arsenal. He now has the hover ability, meaning that if we press triangle at the end of a glide, he'll do a little hover upwards, which can help us make glides a little bit easier. And famously, there is a movement technique in this called the double jump, which I'm going to use right here and here. And now I'm out of bounds. So I think you can see where this one's going. The progression structure for Spyro 2 is very unlike the first one, where in the first one we had to do collection requirements. In this one, technically, all we have to do is beat the bosses. Because when we beat the bosses, that's what causes the load to go into the next homeworld. Normally, to reach these bosses in the first place, we would have to be collecting talismans, which we acquire by going to the end of every level, and orbs, which we get by doing a bunch of minigames and stuff. But we can forego those entirely in this run, just by doing some really clever out-of-bounds to get into the boss loading triggers. And I see we have a donation. Now's a good time.
We absolutely do. We have $5 from Paulister saying, hee hee, Spyro. Thanks for that donation, Paulister. And we are currently at $5,100. So we're slowly creeping our way up towards another milestone. Let's see how high we can go in the remainder of this run.
Very fitting donation for a trick that I never hit that I absolutely just nailed. That big boost off of Frog, that's called Frog Proxy. I never hit that, and that was massive, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. And there we go, we're into the first boss. Just like that. I really talked over that. We had a door drop on us, which, you know, kept us in bounds, and then there was just a convenient little hole that we could just double jump out of and glide to the boss trigger. If only the second home world were that easy. We'll get to that one. But for now, I'm doing this boss wrong, I just realized. It's okay, I'll pick it up. I'm actually supposed to damage abuse off of these. There we go. Thank you, Crush. You and your giant head. This is where the game's art direction really starts to come into its own. It's very good at making these enemies look very goofy. He's just like me, for real. He's just like... I'm always slamming my giant club into the ground and getting smushed by Cocoa Pebbles. I'm still not damage abusing, I just realized. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine. We got him onto the blue pad here, which is optimal because in the final 3 hits, he starts to chase us. But if we interrupt him by letting him slam, he'll actually walk back onto these blue buttons, which is the fastest thing available to us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think he's going to go to the red pad now. Please go back to the blue. Oh, you legend. And as a little treat, we're going to get a Crush face reveal. In 3, 2, 1. Ta-da. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's even better if you make it through that fight damageless because you get a skill point and there's a little charm, a little chime sound effect that goes off the exact same time that happens. Cracks me up every time. But unfortunately, I'm terrible and I took damage. All right, I'm going to go for a crazy trick here that's incredibly hard. I fully expect not to hit this, but if I do, that's a clip. No dice. Okay. That was, I attempted double frog there. If I had gotten that, you would have known because I would have been launched into the stratosphere. But that's okay. We are going to be doing a series of jumps here. This is called Climb Skip. And these are actually pretty tough, so I'm going to shut up. We are absolutely not supposed to be up here. But we are supposed to be here. All right, and so by doing that, we have skipped a 500 gem paywall from Moneybags. Thank goodness. All right, and now here we are at the Damn it. Now here we are at the infamous gulp skip. This is the trick that will trip up the majority of any % runners when they're learning it. It is terrible. I wish I knew how to explain what's going on, but pretty much we just need to line ourselves up with the... this wall is breakable on the other side. It's not an open door. So we need to really... delicately... really delicately walk up against that seam. And with the proper positioning, he'll drop through and be halfway out of bounds. Using that, we can then do some precise movement and get out of bounds and go into the boss trigger. And now I'm going to stop talking. Walk like an Egyptian, Spyro. We're making progress if we see the shadow drop. All right, he's teetering. That's a good sign. Come on, sometimes that happens. Sometimes the game really just says screw you and pops you out of bounds. There's really nothing that can be done. I am 1 life, so I kind of gotta get this. We'll see how this goes. If I game over, it's no big deal. I just have to do climb skip again. And we got plenty of time for it anyway, because that Spyro 190% run was pretty solid. Come on, Spyro. Do your thing. good. Okay. Oh! Tragic. Okay. Oh, 0 lives. Come on. If I pop out of bounds here, I don't necessarily have to death abuse. I can take the long way and attempt it again. There is a life on the way, on the long way. Okay, I'm gonna have to take the long way. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is... Frankly, we don't see Spyro 2 and 3 ran at many marathons because of the difficulty of some of these tricks. And I'm kind of not surprised why. Gulp Skip is very much, well, I don't know. It's not very consistent if you're not super practiced with it, but it's also kind of a trick that has you at the edge of your seat, so... I don't know. We should see more Spyro 2 and 3 at marathons, really. Let's give it another go. Got all the time in the world for this so far. It's really funny. In practice, I was hitting this every time. I swear to God. I promise. I promise. I swear I'm good at this game. Don't leave. Damn it. All right. Now I'm 0 lives again. Okay. Come on, Laura. This isn't even the hardest trick of the trifecta. But it is the least consistent, that's for sure. Come on, Spyro. Get out of bounds. Yes? Yes! There we go! Goodness me, that took a minute. Oh. First time, every time. All right, and here we are in the second boss fight, Gulp, who is... if you thought that skip was bad enough, this boss is 100% RNG, which is everyone's favorite. So this boss can be broken down into 4 phases. The first phase is where these barrels will drop down. We have to charge them into him. Their positions are random. The second phase is where some bombs drop down. We have to flame them into him. Their positions are random. And the third phase is where missiles drop down. We have to put them in our mouths and spit them back out at him. Their positions are random. He's going to shoot at us. That's fine. Please come over here, Gulp. I've got a delicious bomb for you. That's fine. That's going to reach him. There we go. On to the missile phase. So the premise of this fight is that ideally you really want the first 2 barrels to be a double hit, because 2 of them drop and you can get both of them to hit him. And by dealing 2 damage in the first phase, you skip the bomb phase, which is the only phase of the fight where you can't get a double. The missile double is very easy. Just take 1, run over to the other one, there you go. Easy as pie. And now that we're past all those initial phases, now it's even more random. 3 things will drop at a time and they can be anything. The last thing you want is a bomb. Picked up... Ooh, this could be good. Okay, went for a triple there. Would have been insane if I hit that, but no dice, that's okay. So ideally, name of the game, missiles and barrels. No bombs. We hate bombs. Unless there is a bomb next to a barrel, in which case we can make that work. Or I can make this work, probably. Here we go. Right, we're going to lead Gulp directly into the center here. Thank you. On this last hit, if I don't make this a double, I'm going to go for a little proxy, which is entirely swag. I hope I hit it. It's probably going to be a double, considering I got this. Yep, it's a double. All right. And that's the Gulp fight. Sick flip, dude. Oh my god. He just did a gainer. All right. Gulp defeated, and now we are on our way to the third and final hub world. There are only 3 hub worlds in this game compared to the first game 6. And then the game after this has 4. And then the 4th game, the garbage one, has 1 hub world. 1 hub world, 8 levels. Except the levels are massive, so I guess it kind of makes up for it. All right, we're going to do a little proxy here off this penguin. It's incredibly hard. We've got 2 penguins to work with here. If I don't hit it, it's no big deal. I just heard Wally go, it's not, honestly. Get up here then, big man. I'm joking, don't. We're going to be doing some double jumps to make up for the fact that we are bad at Penguin Proxy. So, the level of progression... So, the progression here is a little bit different compared to the first two hub worlds. That boss gate can be accessed without doing what we're about to do, but it's incredibly hard, and I'm nowhere near talented enough to do that. So, what we're going to be doing is skipping into the 100% completion bonus level here. This is Dragon Shores. The portal for that level is stored way underneath, like the actual loading trigger is stored way underneath the portal frame. And now that we're here in Dragon Shores, we're going to be doing a tricky out of bounds and skipping across some water and getting to the 100% completion bonus, which is a permanent fireball upgrade that we're supposed to take into New Game Plus. But with proper spacing here and actually getting a double jump, that would help. There we go. We are just going to go past this wall, go around this water, and just reach the edge of it here, and you can just see it over there. Just barely sneak under it. Perfect. So now that we have the 100% fireball, if I were good at the game, I'd be done with the level here, but... Crowd, can I get a womp womp? Okay, back to Dragon Shores. Oh, that helps. That really helps. I forgot I was 0 lives. Good old Gulp Skip did that to us. That's okay. We do have more to do in that level, and it gives me more time to explain. We're going to be doing a skip called Theater Skip. So inside that 100% completion bonus level, there's a little theater where we can watch all of the cutscenes in the game. And because game logic, if we break into that theater and play the final boss is defeated cutscene, it actually causes all of the paywalls in the game to be completed. Because in the cutscene, the guy who, you know, paywalls you gets stomped on and dies. So, he doesn't actually die. But yeah, all of the paywalls get unlocked, which means all of the abilities get unlocked. And we need those abilities to do a swim into the final boss. Alright, so bear with me, this is a tough trick here. Recover it. Oh my god! What a recovery. Okay. That was the theater Sproda, and just like that, we are now in the theater. And Ripto defeated, except not really. It's not GG. Alright, so now we have all the abilities. Did you get that? No. Now we have all the abilities at our disposal. So now we can leave. And now we just have to do one more out of bounds and a little trick so we can get swimming in the air. And then we can swim into the final boss portal. And then that will be the end of Spyro 2. And the reason we got the permanent fireball is obviously just to make the fight itself an absolute cakewalk. You'll see just how easy the fight is with this permanent fireball. It's very fun. Do this the safe way. There we go. Alright, and now we're swimming in the air. And the final boss portal is just through here. Ripto. Robert, I just heard. This is Robert. Say hi, Robert. Okay. And Robert's going to die. Bye, Robert! Alright, one more phase after this. This one is actually the same as if I didn't do... This next phase here is the same as if I didn't do the permanent fireball, because you're given fireball for this section anyway, so it's kind of like a dogfight on this giant mechanical bird. But as soon as I deal the last point of damage, that is the 80% run. And then we got Spyro 3 coming up after that. He's going to try and evade us here. I know exactly where he's going to go. We turn around, try and get him on the way over. No, he went a different way. All good. And... time! Next game! Bye, Robert. All right. Time. I didn't know if you unplug the disc, he just sinks forever. That's funny. Okay, time for Spyro 3. Right, I don't have to keep the tray open. I have fastest feed on. And breathe. Another sip of water.
Whilst we've got the third game booted up, can I jump in with a donation?
Go for it. I forgot those existed for a moment.
Why are we here again, guys? So we're here raising money for Crisis, and we have a $100 donation from Ashcarp saying, I hate Gulp Skip. I've never gotten it. I'm glad to see LumiLaura get it in the end and keep up the good work. Thanks for that donation.
Yeah, I got you on that one. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it look easy, but I promise it's... Actually, I was about to say I promise it's less annoying than that. It really is that annoying. I lied.
It was first try. I know what you're talking about. All of us said first try. It's fine.
It was first try. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay, so, Spyro 3. First game, very intended. Second game, absolutely not intended. Third game, lovely blend of the two. So, the name of the game for Spyro 3 is I Just Got a Cutscene Crash. Don't believe me, it's not actually a crash. We call it a cutscene crash. It's not actually that. We just have to open the tray and close it again, and we're all good. So, Spyro 3. The name of the game is that we need to get to the end of every one of the levels and speak to the NPC, who's going to give us an end-of-level egg. And then once we've helped out all of those end-of-level NPCs, they are going to band together and build the transportation to go on to the next hub world. There are 4 hub worlds in total, and the first one is the hardest one. Woohoo! So, here we go. Hardest one in the speed run, I should add. Not intended. And there are a bunch of flashy tricks in this one. This is probably the one I've been looking forward to showing off the most. I'm not amazing at this category. There are better runners than me at this category, but I do have sub 30 in it, which is... pretty cool. Right, I'm going to go for 2 more of those. That's called Rhino Proxy. It's very annoying. It's very likely that I won't hit it, but I'll try. There we go. Got it. Out of all 4 of them, that was the hardest one to hit. I'm not quite sure how I managed to do that. But, you know what? Why look the gift horse in the mouth? Oh, my neck. I slept on it really funny last night. Alright, I'm going to go for a little trick here that I absolutely guarantee I'm not going to hit, but just in case I do. Yeah, okay. Just attempted a little waterfall swim in air there. Very, very, very difficult. Only the top level runners really go for that, and they reset over it all the time. Why not? Takes no time to go for. Would have been cool. Alright, so next level, Cloud Spires. I've got a couple options here to get to the end of level, and I'm going to go for the... Honestly, it looks less flashy, but is faster and is harder. So, I'll go for it. It's just a very tight momentum conservation jump here. Nailed it. Beautiful. I promise that's harder than it looks. That is a reset point for you when you start learning it. The second warning. Warn this. Skips the cutscene. I don't know why I'm being so mean to the game today. It does deserve it. Alright, so this is a trick here called Whirlwind Bypass. We're going to be using this Superfly power-up and completely messing up the trick. Never mind. Got it. We're out of bounds and swim in air. And just like that, we are going to use the swim in air. Something I didn't explain is that the level portals are barriered by, you know, an egg requirement. So for this level in particular, we need 14. We have now just gotten in with 2. And we are going to do the levels in a funky order, because if you do them in a specific order that would seem more intuitive if you didn't know what happened, the game would soft lock. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do the levels in a funny order, but it's pretty much the only efficient way to get through this. Tried a little proxy there. Absolutely not surprised that I didn't hit it, because it's very difficult and saves like 2 seconds. Yeah, this level itself, yeah, nothing really to it. Coming up at the end of this level, though, when I leave and I'm trying to move on to the next level, there's a very difficult wall glide that I hope I'm going to hit, and then it's immediately followed by a borderline frame perfect proxy. borderline. I say borderline. There is some lenience to it, but it may as well be frame perfect. You either hit it or you don't. So, we'll see how it goes. What we are going to be trying to do is so this game has wall glides too, I should mention. Even though the movement engine has changed, they did keep wall glides to a degree. We're going to be doing a very, very small one just to get us enough height to get on top of that portal over there. I hope I hit this. Oh! We're going to give it one more try, because it is faster to retry. If I miss this, I'll just have to go do whirlwind bypass again. Not a big deal. Yes? Yes! Love it. And then we're out of bounds. Boom. Level trigger. Whew! Alright. And now onto board proxy. I hope I hit this one. Fingers crossed. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Love it. Thank goodness all the practice I've been doing this weekend has been paying off. I really have given Spyro 1 no attention at all this weekend. It's just been Spyro 2 and 3. And you know what? I'm super glad for it because I've shown off Spyro 1 before. You guys know what it's about. You move great, you pick up gems. But this has so much cool stuff to it. And I can't remember the last time these two games have been in a marathon. So it's I'm honored to give these games at least some of the due justice that they deserve. Alright. One more whirlwind bypass to get into the final level of this hub world. We're skipping a paywall here. Moneybags is back and he's ready to gouge us out of more gems, but we're going to say, screw you. The portal is underneath her. So, something I haven't mentioned about this game is that this is the game in the trilogy where there are animal friends that we can play as. This is the first game where we play as not Spyro. This is Sheila the kangaroo, and we're going to be playing as her for this level because this is her home. And all we have to do is escort these goats. I say escort, it's not really an escort type thing. We really do just have to rush forward, kill some enemies that are in their way, and they do their own thing. 1, 2, and then in this section there's a bunch of mushroom huts that we have to stomp. And then the last goat will go to their endpoint. Ouch. And then we can get the end of level egg. Please move faster. Thank you. You're welcome. It's Nan. Alright. And that is all 5 end-of-level eggs in Sunrise Spring. So, yeah, I kind of stand by what I said. Depending on the level you're at with the speed game, this is either the hardest hub world or it's not that bad. I kind of made it not look that bad. But I do promise that it is actually the hardest one if you're going for all the toughest strats. Right. First boss of the game. And like we saw with Spyro 2, the bosses take a massive step up. They have health bars and everything still. And this one is Buzz.
When I heard the
Freaky looking thing. But what we're going to do is just run him all the way to the edge here. And as long as we stay along this edge, he actually can't hit us. So for this phase, yeah, he just kind of stops there. And so for the rest of these hits, he's going to have a wall of fire around him. So we need to turn the camera so that his wall of fire is deloaded so that we can just keep hitting him. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, I got him still. Okay, we're good. Oh, I'm Sparksless. Okay, don't choke. I'm sorry? Oh, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. That was the last hit. That sucks. Yeah, give me a womp womp, guys. That's all right. Buzz is a fickle one sometimes. For me, this is definitely the least consistent fight, which is hilarious because it's the only fight without RNG. It's definitely the most intricate fight in terms of doing stuff unintended. The rest of the fights we very much do as intended. I've got to stop doing that. I've got to slow down. Patience, Laura. Patience. There we go. Job done. Right, let's see if we can get the camera upside down. No. Oh, yes! I got it! Dude, yes! Oh, my God! I kid you not. I go for that every single run. I've run this game thousands of times. I've gotten that twice, including this. It's that rare. If that doesn't inspire you to donate to a great cause, what does? Come on.
Speaking of donations, can I read some off? Because we've got them building up.
One moment. I'm going to go for a tricky little trick here called Bridge Swim. Hopefully this won't take too much time. I have been nailing this in practice. This is probably one of the most awkward out-of-bounds / swim in airs in the entire game. One more try. Got to get the camera under here. 1, 2, 3. One more go, and then I'll let you read some donations. I'll take the safe way, or I'll just keep going with it. Okay, you can read the donations. We'll see what happens.
Okay, no worries. We've got an anonymous $30 donation just saying small dragon saves crisis, which I don't agree with. We have $25 from King Europe saying congrats on first time gulp skip.
Thanks.
We have $5 from Prosec as well saying I have been doing a sketch for every run this event and my hands and brain are tired. But it's been great to see so many people laugh at my dumb jokes. Doing good, Laura. Put it to bed.
Thank you so much. Right, I give up with Bridge Swim, which is really unfortunate because in practice, I swear to goodness, I've been nailing that every time. Very unfortunate, but we're just going to do the next best thing here. A little head bash and a little swim in air. Alright, so the first level we're going to be going to is, in fact, the animal level. We're going to be visiting our friend Sergeant Bird. And he's a sergeant because he's a sergeant. I don't know where I was going with that. He's a sergeant. That's really funny, Laura. You're nailing it. Alright, so out of all of the animal friends in this game, this is the one I hate the most. I hate you, Sergeant Bird, so much. He controls like he's made of helium, but also simultaneously feels like a monster truck, so not great. And you're in the air, and you have these homing missiles that 90% of the time don't home. Fantastic. Thankfully, the level itself is relatively simple. We're actually going to get this egg here that we don't need, but it's given to us automatically. We can't really skip it. So we're just going to navigate the level by escorting our private hummingbird all the way to the end of the level to do something. I don't even know why they're trying to go to the end of the level. I don't even know the lore for this. Why are they trying to go to the end of the level? I don't know. Something to do with training. I'll take their word for it. I'm going to use this opportunity to get some fodder, actually. There we go. Yes, they are shooting plungers at me for some reason. Hello? Are you going to show... This is why I hate Sergeant Bird. She got stuck. Come on. Seriously, it's like you're taking a 3-year-old to Tesco. Come on. You can't get pick and mix. You guys can get pick and mix. All right, there we go. Out of Sergeant Bird. Thank goodness. All right, so, racking my brain here. Yes, next level, Spooky Swamp. We're actually going to be doing the same thing twice to break into these levels. We're going to be going up to here. You can see that this portal is supposed to be active with 25 eggs, but we're getting on top of this. Going out of bounds. I'm taking it a little bit wide for safety. And the loading trigger is there. All right, cool. All right, and then there is a trick that's pretty much optional here in Spooky Swamp. There is a trick called Croxy, short for Croc Proxy. Would you believe it? Let's see if I get it. Oh, yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay, one more thing for swag. Can we get a Thelonious moment?
You are...
Yes, Thelonious moment. We love a good Thelonious moment every now and then. It's the spice of life. All right, a little cutscene, and then we're going to have to go back on top of that little archway that we jumped off of. And head into the next level, Bamboo Terrace. I'm pretty impressed I've actually nailed that twice in a row. That jump is really annoying. I hate it. Bamboo Terrace, there we go. Sweet. Pretty blind of a jump. The only visual cues you have are some gems that are sitting on the overground that you kind of have to fly under and make sure that you're on the right line. All right, we've got a little trick here called Boulder Proxy, but before that, I'm going to see if I can hit a frame perfect thing. No dice. Okay. So these little panda friends of ours are going to go ahead and push this boulder out the way, but before they're done, we're going to jump and squeeze behind it. Uh-oh. Oh, I beefed it. I'm going to take a death, because you know what? It's a lovely trick, and I absolutely should not have missed that. So for the sake of you guys getting to look at something cool, and more so for the sake of... Oh, I got a Zoe Zap. I was going to say for the sake of my pride. But you know what? It's fine. That's fine, game. You know what? I don't like you either. I don't like you either. We're just going to have to run through this run through this as intended. Oh, goodness. Didn't expect Bamboo Terrace of all levels to trip me up, but you know what? Anything can happen at a marathon. Anything can happen.
We would be...
Hello, Tom.
Oh, the
Get me out of here. Alright. Next level coming up is Enchanted Towers, which is either very annoying or not that bad. I'm actually going to get some health while I'm here, just for the sake of it. Marathon safety and all. We're going to be doing some spin jumps here, which let us get up these awkwardly heighted walls. There we go. And we're going to shoot this target and fly in... Oh! Never mind. I can do this. Hang on. Ah! Yeah, I was supposed to shoot the target and then fly into the portal at the same time. It was going to look really cool. But you know what? I hate you two, game. I hate you two. Okay, Enchanted Towers. We're going to be doing a little proxy here where we flame an enemy into the corner and run underneath it. Hopefully it boosts us up. Wonderful. And, you know, I could be evil and say this section is very quiet and that headphone users should turn it up. But turn it down, please. So the funniest thing about that volume, right? For some reason, it's inexplicably loud. But the best part about it is that there was a build of this game leaked that was no more than a couple of weeks before the official final release. And the volume is normal in that version. What the hell? Not only is the volume normal, but the music track that was playing in there, you might have noticed that was Sergeant Bird's theme. That's also fixed in the version that was weeks older than the final release. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Crunch. Stop crunch. No more crunch, guys. Alright. Icy Peak. The only thing to this level is a pretty difficult jump, but hopefully I should nail it. This might take a couple tries. Might not. Yeah, okay, it's going to take a couple tries. How many lives am I at? That's the question. 1. Okay. In the event of failing this, I might do 99 lives, but I think I've got it. Got it! Whew. Beautiful. All right. My disc is messed up. It's not meant to sound like that. My disc is scratched in a few funny places. But we are good. That was the last level of the second hub world, Midday Gardens. Moving on to the next one, Evening Lake. But right before our sponsor, this boss.
Let's head on.
Not NordVPN. So an interesting factoid about this game, actually, is that there are 2 release revisions for this game, Revision 0 and Revision 1. I am playing on Revision 1, where that Spike is Born cutscene is present, but in the Revision 0 version of the game, which is most commonly found on the black label versions of the disc, that cutscene is not present, which saves a few seconds in the any % run, among other little things that improve the speed of the any % run. But I'm playing on Revision 1 because it has the better music, and why are you asking so many questions? Get off my back, Mom. Oh, hit that. Just barely eked a third hit there out on the first phase. I'm getting my numbers messed up. That was the second phase. This is the third phase. And that's the boss. There we go. Another Revision 0 difference is that in this moment here where Spyro's walking away to this whirligig, you can control him for a second and do a little glide towards it, which also saves a little bit of time. But yeah, can't do that here. What I can do, however, is a really cool entry into the next Animal Friend level, which hopefully I get first try. Usually I do, but during practice I did faff it up a little bit, so fingers crossed.
Listen to me, Drag.
No. Actually, let me see if I can get a life off one of these fodders. No, okay. I'm going to let Sparks eat these, because for every 10 fodder Sparks eats, the next one will give him a life. So just to be sure. We're going to do a little out of bounds here. This out of bounds is easier on Revision 0. We're going to go under here. Beautiful. Woo! Beautiful entry. Okay. So the reason that one is tougher than it looks is because I actually did very specific movement there to get around another portal, which is the portal to the flight level. Which, if you're not 100% sure on where you're going, you will hit that portal, and you will go to the wrong level and pretty much kill the entire run. So, thank God I avoided that. Cool, and so now we are escorting an iPad kid who really likes Skibbity Toilet, and I really just want to squish him. I hate him so much. This is our little brother, Bartholomew, who really wants us to, wait, what does he want us to do in this level? I forget. Does he want us to get, does he want us to get him his ball back in this level? I don't think that's what we're doing. That's another level. He wants us to do something in this level. But anyway, he's annoying. He's a brat. I want to turn him into a pancake. Hello, Bartholomew. Wait, hang on, wait. Please turn into a pancake! Thank you. All right. Very, very, very difficult trick coming up here called World Record Proxy. Really hope I hit this. I lied. It wasn't that hard at all. Also, it's entirely useless. It's 100% useless. I'm pushing this block all the way off to get a life here, just in case. There we go. 2 lives, ready to roll. Yeah, it's called World Record Proxy because it will never be in a world record. I love this community. We name tricks such funny names. Alright, I promise I'm done squishing you. I lied. Oh, he keeps dodging me! They keep whomping me. Get me out of here. Alright. Oh my god. Come on, Laura. Make an effort to go fast. I'm going to. So in this level coming up, Frozen Altars, there is a pretty easy proxy, though it is kind of prone to error sometimes, called Mammoth Proxy. Where, would you believe it, we proxy off a mammoth. Crazy how that works. So we're just going to charge this mammoth where he gets stuck in the ground a little bit in his death animation. And during his death animation, his hitbox is solid, so we can do a little boost at him. Let's see if I hit this. Oh, I did it a little bit too low. That's okay. I'm going to go for the next best thing, Ice Wall Proxy. I hope I set that up properly. No, I'm going to hit it with a little bit more of that beam. One more. Yes, there we go. That should work. We need something a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Come on, Ice Wall. Yeah, we go. Perfect. Now that we're here, a little spin jump, a little glide, and we have pretty much skipped right to the end of the level, which is just behind this corner. Good old Ice Wall. You never steer me wrong. Beautiful. Right, so we're going to be doing that out of bounds that we did to get into Bentley one more time to get into the next level, Fireworks Factory. where there is a very infamous trick called Firefly Proxy, which is not only RNG based, but also pretty tight in its execution. I'm going to go for it, well, as many times as I have, according to my lives. Actually, you know what? I know this isn't fast, but I'm just going to get another life. There we go. There it is. Knew I was going to get it eventually. There we go. That gives us one more try at Firefly Proxy. I'd love to hit it, but I haven't had the best track record at hitting it during practice, so we'll just have to see. We're supposed to be swimming in this entire hobworld, by the way. Well, everything underwater anyway, shocker. Alright. I'll do my best. Oh, that could have been good, but my... lame excuse, my thumb slipped off the analog stick. Ugh, close. One more. I get one more shot at this, and then I have to run through this intended. Ah, slightly more to the right, and that would have worked, I reckon. All right, no worries. The gist of it is that that just launches us up to the end of the level, skips us having to do what actually is an auto-scroller here. It looks like we can just run to the end of the level as intended, but we're actually waiting for a little NPC here called Greta, who is going to open this cannon for us. Hello, Greta. It looks like you have two giant bug eyes. I don't like them. I'm not going to lie. I don't like Greta and her brother Handel. Yes, Handel. Not D-L-E, D-E-L.
Given we're running through the level, can I jump in?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. We've got $5 from Hypnotic saying, Laura doesn't play Goat Simulator, she lives it.
Okay.
We just got a boo from the audience for that. We've also got $25 from Anna saying, Spyro is one of the first games I played, had to donate. Great job, everyone. This whole event has been awesome. Couldn't agree more. And finally, we have $10 from Leaf saying, thanks for the weekend. It has been a really good weekend. It has been a great event, and we've raised a lot of money for Crisis. So round of applause, everybody, for Crisis. For raising money.
Woo! All right. Lost Fleet. This level's not massively complex, but there is a very important thing that we have to do at the end of this level called Zombie Glitch. I did just set up a trick that acted very weird, and I don't get to do it now, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. We just have to escort Crazy Ed over here. Look how crazy he is with his pickaxe. His iconic crazy pickaxe. He's not that crazy. That's a self-appointed title. Oh, Ed, you're not that crazy. Calm down, mate. We just got to blast these walls so that he hops all the way to the end of the level. We're going to grab the egg from him, which is inside this chest. And then right at the end of this, we'll do Zombie, which is a frame-perfect trick, but can be made easier with a little bit of pause buffering. We pretty much just have to pause in the same frame that Spyro would be dying from this acid. One more try. That's it. There we go. Whew! There we go. So now we are in zombie mode, which the game pretty much believes Spyro to be dead, which means it is not going to change his state from the swimming state to the airborne state. And so we can just swim in air, which means we can get out of bounds, get onto the level, and swim right up into this level here, which normally would have a 60-something egg requirement? I can't remember. And then we got one more, 65, thank you. And then we got one more big proxy here that hopefully I hit, fingers crossed. I'm in kind of a precarious situation here with 0 lives and zombie, which means that if I die here, I have no opportunities to pick up another life. Because in zombie mode, Spyro is not going to be able to get sparks back. I just realized, okay, I can use this. Do a little bit of awkward scaling of the geometry here. There we go. There we go. Cool. And then upon leaving the level, it should boot us out of zombie mode and I can go get some health. Thank goodness. She doesn't move. She's kind of freaky. I don't like her very much. She has 0 animations. She just hovers there. Cool. Let's go get some health, and moving on to the second to last boss of the game, Scorch. Thank you very much. Cool. So, now this boss fight is very RNG heavy. This boss fight is pretty much the crux to a lot of any % runners at high level. Although, not really that much, actually, because the rest of the speed game is just very hard. This is definitely the hardest any % out of the 3. And doesn't really see many new runners going for it these days as a result, but I promise it's not that bad. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? So, Bentley is here to give us either 2 kinds of rockets to attack with. Red ones or green ones. Unfortunately, we got the green ones. Here's the thing. The green ones are bigger. They home, and you get 1 of them at a time. You would think they did more damage, but they do not. That is 2 reds. Count along how many... That's 2 greens. Count along how many greens we get. Yep, it does 1 tick of damage. Bentley, what are you going to give us? Okay, we got some reds. Thank goodness. No counting here. So the red and green rockets do the exact same amount of damage, and we get 50 of these instead of 1. Which is very necessary because it's pretty tough to time when Scorch is going to attack next. We can just hop over these guys so that their explosion doesn't hit us. I see more red rockets behind me. I'm going to grab those. Thank you very much. I need to kill you. Grab these. There's more reds behind us as well. Don't need them. Terrible RNG on this fight, unfortunately. 1 more hit. And we're good. There goes Scorch. And now for the moment I've been dreading. This is the final, really annoying part of the any % runs because we do not do the same thing as we have been doing in other homeworlds here. We got another cutscene crash. I'm just going to have to open the tray, close it again, and we're good to go, hopefully. There we go. He escaped the cutscene crash. So, the final boss loading trigger is actually extended way further than it should be, and so by doing some, well, 1 of 2 insane tricks, we can reach it and get into the final boss. I'm going to attempt Saboom jumps first, I think. The trick that I would be doing in a run is called Helmet Proxy, but for the sake of being, well, for the sake of giving Saboom jumps some love, I'm going to give Saboom jumps a try. So instead of doing a massive proxy here, I'm going to do some very precise jumps that hopefully get me up and around to the loading trigger. That was the easy part. Got to do a little wall glide here to land on this geometry. Got it. Turn it around. It ate my charge jump. Curse you, game. Curse you. There we go. Stop it! It really doesn't want me to do Saboom jumps. I haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. Come on, wall glide. Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone here. I'm going a little too harsh on it. I shouldn't be flopping off like that. Yeah, I shouldn't be flopping off like this. Going a little too harsh. There we go. There we go. Now we're up here. And now this is the hard part. That was all supposed to be a cakewalk compared to this. Pray for me. No way. No! Okay. I'm giving that 1 more try. I'll get up there 1 more try before I move on to Helmet Proxy. If I hit this, I'll be so happy. I know we're not exactly crunched for time, being the last run and all, but obviously I don't want to waste time. A moment. Okay. That's unfortunate. So the premise was that I was going to do that wall glide, land on top of that little pedestal, and, yeah, get into the final boss trigger. Instead, I'm going to do this, where we squeeze underneath this helmet, and ideally we get a massive amount of momentum that starts sliding us backwards, and we got to control it backwards to get us a massive boost that lets us glide into the final boss trigger. Unfortunately, I appear to keep bouncing backwards. I have a lot of disdain for this trick. A lot. This is why I went for the boom jumps first. I will get it. In any percent runs, you are expected to hit this first try, really. Well, high-level runners are expected to hit this first try. There we go! Got it. And then from here, final boss. The adventure continues.
As it loads in, can I quickly just announce something?
Go for it.
We're approaching the end of the run, guys. So we are approaching the end of the last run of the marathon. So it is your last chance to get some donations in. So get exclamation mark donate, get some donations in. We have had $5 from Sly Sonic just saying, womp womp.
Hey, I hit the trick. You can't want me.
So get your donations in, guys. We're approaching the end of the run, so get some last-minute donations in as soon as you can.
Not great. Okay, no, 2 hits. That's fine. So, this fight has 3 phases. Cannons are going to drop, then tanks are going to drop, then UFOs are going to drop. We want to skip the UFOs by doing a trick called, you guessed it, UFO skip. Would you believe it? Let's see if we can get one more hit off here. Yes, wonderful. Okay, and then what I need to do here is, hopefully that works. No, she just barely dodged it. I don't think UFO skip is going to work now. Wait, no, it could. Yes, okay, it could. Wait. Sorceress. Okay, wait, there's one more tank on the playing field here. I think I can still make this work. Come on, Sorceress. Stop using your fireballs. Get on the thing. Okay. That's not going to hit. Oh, I'm so bad. Come on. There's one more tank here. Shoot your fireball. There we go. And should work. Yes, got it. There we go. Shoot the fireball. There we go. Now we've skipped the UFO and the fight should be over imminently. And damn it! All right. Now it's GG. There we go. That was the Spyro the Dragon trilogy. Now we are headed to the Quadrilogy. I opened the disc tray. That egg's never gonna hatch. I'm sorry, George. Honestly, sucks to be you. Okay. So we just witnessed 3 amazing games. 3 amazing, iconic games. Now this game smells like your bin. Everyone's going, oi, smelly things go in the bin. I don't know why I turned fast disc speed on. I don't need it. It's a PS2 game. Come on, disc.
Whilst we're waiting for the disc to load, I do have some donations to read if you got me to.
This game takes ages to load. You're good. I can kick back.
I've got time. Fantastic. We've got $20 from Dark Shocks just saying, your wish is my command.
Oh.
Thank you very much for that donation, Dark Shock. We also have $30 from Ludrin with no comment, but thank you for that donation. Let's keep going. Let's see how far we can push this before the end of this run, where we can't get the disc to read at the moment.
Oh, don't tell me. This was literally working before I started the run. We checked this.
Well, whilst we're waiting, I do have some
You've got to be kidding me.
Another womp in the crowd. So, let's talk about what Crysis do whilst we're waiting for the game to load. They do operate 9 skylights across the country in places like Birmingham, Brent, Croydon, Edinburgh, London, Merseyside, Newcastle, Oxford. We've got a cheer for Where are you from? Merseyside? Newcastle?
We got a cheer for the game. It loaded.
I didn't see that. I'm looking this way. Sorry. There's offer in South Wales. So at the Skylights, they provide practical one-to-one support to prevent and end homelessness by taking a housing-led approach, supporting access to benefits, healthcare services, and employment opportunities. I'll pass it back to you now. The game has loaded, so we'll try and get into the final game of the marathon. Don't forget, get your last-minute donations in, and we'll see how high we can push it before the end.
So, this game has loading screens. Here is a loading bar for a loading screen, which is attempting to load. It's taking this time to load a language select, which is then going to lead us into a loading bar for a loading screen, which is going to take us to the title screen. So, this is the Spyro game that was not developed by Insomniac Games. This was developed by a before unknown studio, two studios, Check 6 and Equinox. This was their first game. This was their last game. Pull one out for Check 6 and Equinox. This game bombed so unbelievably hard it killed the studio, and you're about to see why. That's a loading bar for a loading screen for a cutscene where I'm going to let this play. Hang on. Brilliant. Brilliant cutscene. Here's a loading bar for, you guessed it, a loading screen. For, you guessed it, another cutscene. Of which we are going to skip. You wouldn't believe what's coming up next. A loading bar. Take a guess what's next. A loading screen. Resetting this game makes me want to pluck my eyebrows out with a fork. I don't even know how you'd do that. You'd have to like pinch the prongs together. Okay, so I'm really tempted to not explain what's going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to explain what's going to happen. I'm not going to explain this run at all. You're just going to see for yourself. I'm sure so many of you are already familiar with it. This speed game is infamous. It's still loading. This game is infamous for how terrible it is. But I'm not going to explain a thing. Because what we are going to do is we're going to load in. We're going to get interrupted because I didn't bother to turn hints off. Thank you. Yep, we're going to get interrupted twice. Thanks. Beautiful. And let me set it up. Final boss. Oh no! I missed it! I missed it! I missed it! I missed the loading trigger. It's so much easier said than done to actually miss it doing that, but that's the final boss trigger. This is the final boss trigger. It's located 5 feet from spawn. And there we go. We're in the final boss. And would you believe it, there's a loading bar for a loading screen. We've collected three gems. And you know what's even great? What's even better? They didn't even bother to come up with an original boss for this. You remember Spyro 2? Yeah, Ripto's back. Robert's back! It's Robert! It's Robert in all of his 6th gen, weird, muppety face, kind of semi-low poly, really terrifying to look at glory, so. And this fight sucks, by the way. It's still loaded. There we go. Hi, Robert. Hocus pocus. All right, so he has this weird little shield device. We just need to keep flaming it. He'll keep running to the other sides of the arena. And that's the fight. That's the fight. Well, I tell a lie, actually. This is the 75% completion fight. This is the first kind of Ripto fight that you can beat. If you achieve 85% completion, there is an additional phase after this, and if you reach 100% completion, there is an additional phase after that. But we're not doing that. I don't have 3 hours to kill. There we go, and one more hit. And that is time. We're underestimate! We're underestimate! And that has been UKSG Green 2024. I hope everyone has enjoyed. I'm clapping the event, not me. There's a loading bar for a loading screen. Oh, goodness. Look at Spock. I hate that. Spox is like, bleh, and Spyro's like, duh? What are you doing? Oh, beautiful. And that's Spyro into the Dragonfly. And that's the Spyro Quadrilogy. Thank you very much. That's been me, I suppose. That's been the event. Do we have anything to say?
Yes, I thank you very much for that final run, LumiLaura. It was fantastic to watch. We all have a bit of Spyro. Can you get one more round of applause for Spyro, please?
I love Spyro.
Yeah. Spyro is amazing. I can't think of a good way of ending a marathon such as that. We did get one last donation during that, and we have $5 coming in just saying, my bin doesn't smell this nice.
This game doesn't smell nice, I insist.
Well, it's just a loading simulator, so it's fantastic to watch. We all got enthralled by the loading bar into the... Sorry, what was it again?
The loading bar into the loading screen, into the cutscene, into the loading bar, into the loading screen, into the cutscene, into the loading bar, into the loading screen, into the gameplay, into the loading bar, into the loading screen, into the final boss, into the loading bar, into the loading screen, into the cutscene. Woo! I love loading.
Yeah, we all love loading, but yeah, sadly that was the last run of the marathon, but don't go away. We do have some closing remarks from the wonderful people that helped organize this event, to have all of us here to be able to run some awesome speed runs, show off some amazing games, and be able to raise money for a great cause. So don't go away. We'll be right back with some short closing remarks.